SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena, thank you so much for your time. Last night and this morning there was hope that there was going to be a corridor and passage which would have been, something that would bring hope to many people. What happened?
Well, clearly we are told that Israel is adamant that there's no corridor. You are correct that there was an announcement that there is going to be a corridor plus a passage to allow those foreign nationals to be able to leave the Palestinian territory. And therefore, later in the morning, we got information that the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, is saying that there is no corridor. But this afternoon, when he was addressing the parliament in Canada virtually, he spoke about that corridor, emphasizing that there will be a corridor to allow humanitarian aid to be delivered in Gaza. And therefore, we are waiting to see. Perhaps it will happen before later tonight, or it will be tomorrow. What we do know is that the Secretary of State of the United States of America, Antony Blinken, is now in Israel, and he is expected to have a meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. We are hoping that after that meeting, during the briefing by the Secretary of State of the United States of America, we'll get better clarity. We know that President Biden emphasized yesterday that this must happen, but also talking about a need for foreign nationals who want to leave that area to be allowed to do so. And I think the Americans are very desperate to evacuate its citizens, and some of them are already waiting for that window to open, and they are already at the border on the other side. And therefore, Egypt saying that if you don't open a corridor for humanitarian aid to go to Gaza, you are not going to have a passage to evacuate your citizens. And I think this time around, Egypt is supported by the Arab League. And you know that many other countries have insisted that there must be a humanitarian corridor to help ordinary citizens of Gaza.
And especially speaking to Ross Cullen there in Tel Aviv earlier on, talking about how desperate the situation is there and just how, they are running out of time and supplies as well. But let's talk about the AU and the Arab League, as you've hinted. I mean, they've also issued statements on the matter. What are they saying? Well,
they're talking about a need for humanitarian corridor, both the AU and also the Arab League. And therefore, the question is, because you have Israel having its own demands, and much as Egypt is ready to allow the trucks to get into Palestine, the problem is Israel opening the other side. And therefore, they want this passage, but also they are making demands. For example, those who have been captured, they want those Israel nationals and also other foreign nationals who have been captured by Hamas to be released. And therefore, you have negotiations taking place right now. And I think for Blinken to have spent so many days in the Middle East, it speaks to how difficult this issue is from all sides. And we know that even President Biden, for the first time, he spoke about the support for Palestinians, but not Hamas. And therefore, you can see that there's little movement. When he started, Biden, he was only talking about Israel. He said nothing about Palestine. And now there's this little movement. You also had Mahmoud Abbas, the leader of Palestine, talking about that Hamas is not Palestine, and therefore people should not link Hamas activities to the entire population of Palestine, insisting that, however, there must be a peace process between the two nations, that is Palestine and Israel. So you can see there's some talking and trying to isolate Hamas. Whether that will work, let's wait and see.
Definitely waiting and see. But our own president coming under fire from the Zionist organization after his statement on Saturday, the organization accusing him of supporting Hamas?
Yes, I think I don't understand politicians or people sometimes when they are angry. They make statements that are not founded. When you listen to what the South African president said, he never spoke about Hamas. He was very consistent in line with the governing party's position before 1994, post 1994. Former President Mandela was quite clear about the Palestine cause. President Mbeki, when he took over, the same. President Motlanthe, President Zuma, and I think when you look at international relations, I was actually talking to one journalist outside Beirut Hotel that it looks like when coming to the issue of international relations, the ANC is very, very consistent. And there is a continuity, there's no contradiction. And therefore, the president spoke about the support to Palestinians, not to Hamas. Perhaps let's take a listen at what the chairperson of the Committee on International Relations, Sophie Mokoena, had to say about the reports linking the president with the support to Hamas.
At no point has Comrade President actually said we stand with Hamas. We want to reiterate, we stand with the people of Palestine. We condemn the actions as declared and pronounced and executed by the apartheid Israeli government. Because in this instance, Hamas is just a group that does not represent the entire population of Palestine. And in terms of what we have continuously been raising, is that it is also important that the Palestinians themselves get united and that they agree to cooperate in terms of finding a solution through the negotiations that people must remember. South Africa has been involved in these peace negotiations, including bringing people out of the occupied territories to South Africa to come and interact. It is unfair and it is wrong also of people to say we support Hamas. At no point have we said that, and at no point am I saying the ANC supports Hamas. The ANC is saying it has taken too long for the multilateral bodies, for Israel itself, to honor the resolutions that have been taken.
There you have it. But later today, anytime from now, the president of the ANC will be making his remarks after the NEC. And maybe this issue will come up when he is talking about what they discussed. Because I know in the afternoon today, they were finalizing their program of action in relation to the Middle East question. And they were saying to me that they have roped in the alliance partners. So tomorrow, during the press conference, we expect the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, to unpack that program. What will it entail? But it looks like we will have lots of breaking news around that issue.